If you want to move up here so we can hear you better, and I've got some paper and pens if you want to
Okay.
have that while you're at it. That's your new nickname, I guess, Tiger. I get told that from my fix, all right, reading ready.
Well, thank you for coming. I will go ahead and let Alan pick up where we left off.
Yes. Hey, appreciate you coming down here and talking to us. We typically are just doing questions and like maybe a 5 or 10 minute presentation on kind of where you see your greatest needs are. And then if the board has any questions, they'll kind of ask for any clarifications on there. So that's kind of how we've been doing it. So buddy, you're free to roll with it.
Well, if I can, I'll do a quick update.
Okay.
And, you know, so this year, again, we came out on bestschools.org as number 10 in the nation. And another organization ranked as number 2 as second most affordable in North Carolina to community college. I think we'd all do the same, but the fees make a big difference. So 75% of our students attend tuition free. They never pay a dime. And, which is probably why we're second most affordable. And, you know, the class sizes are averaging around 13 per class.
Is that based on income, Dr. Board, or is that based on just scholarships
It's
and?
based on everything. Some of it's income, some of it's scholarships. We do a lot of scholarships. And so, last year we grew a little over 18%. This year we're up so far to over 13% in FTEs. In our last iPads, we're about 60% full-time retention of students, which is above the comparison group which was 57% retention on part-time students, which the comparison group was 42. And our graduation rate's 52%, which the comparison group was 40. And, you know, you think, well, 52%, but if you look at universities, most of them are in 20s and low 30s. So, you know, a lot of people start and then want to get a certificate and get a job, so they leave.
But some of that accumulate also to a kid starting at Baylor and transferring to another college.
And that's a lot of that, a lot of the high school kids. And so this, last week, we sent our applied engineering for the first time to Skills USA for the state competition, and they placed second. We're pretty proud of that. They took the Mars rover, that was their project. And, coming up, or we recently got, in fact, last week we got notified that our ASIN National Nursing Accreditation was approved. So we've got now a national accreditation. The 14th of May, we're signing with App State on the Aspire program, which will help students transition into App State. And we've also, on our last meeting with the superintendent, we've got a program now set up where they can pick a student that's going to graduate that can come to us for 2 years, tuition free, that wants to be a teacher. They come to us for 2 years, tuition free, and then they go to either Leeds-McRae or Mars Hill. I've worked it out with those two colleges, tuition free.
Wow.
And I'm going to try to do that with App State when we meet.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so each year they can pick a student, and so every year they've got, you know, a new teacher. You know, after the 3 or 4 years, I have a new teacher rolling in every year for your school district. We've got a new mascot now. We used to be Panther. Now we're the Highlanders. Our mascot is the Scottish cow with this little Scottish hat. And we actually registered our own tartan. So Malin has its own tartan now. And so there'll be some of that shown on graduation. We had Whit Tuttle here. He's head of the tourism for the state. We invited him up here. He spent 2 nights at the hotel, and we had a special dinner. Actually, it was for Alltech, but we invited him as well at the planetarium. And so it was good to have that level here. We got a Title III grant this year. It's $1.6 million for 5 years. So we've added several people. Our focus is retention. We're starting 2 programs this fall, culinary and dental assisting. And we are starting firefighter 1 and 2 at Mitchell High School. We're doing block 3 and 4. And so, that will start this fall. DSP remains the only, international only international dark sky certified, by higher ed. We're still the biggest telescope in the southeast. We're still only one of 2 in the world, international dark sky sites that have both a planetarium and an observatory. The other one's in South Korea. So it brings a lot of people in. The hotel's on the final stages of the kitchen and the outside. We're still waiting on approval. We've got approval from ARC for a grant in November. We're waiting. Commerce is managing the grant form, and we're still waiting on Commerce to approve us to go out to bid on that for the inside. And then, of course, YMCA, if you've been by there, it's going pretty quick.
Yeah.
We got great leadership down there from Van Noy. The animal shelters in the planning phases. And if you go by the campus, you'll see a little chain link fence where the barn was. That's for Toad River beekeepers. And we're doing a beekeeping display there. We're going to do beekeeping classes on campus. They'll go there for their lab. And we got an EDA grant to finish the culinary inside Three Peaks. Once we pour the floor, we should be doing that soon. That's under contract with Van Noy as well. So it's kind of a quick rundown of a few things that are going on. And so our allocation request this year is to try to get everybody back to level. We were there a few years ago. And, you know, Alan and Mavis really understand what insurance has done, what power has done and all that. It's, you know, if you have a house, if you drive a car, you know what insurance has done. And so it's gone up. We're going to have to finish the year out of some fund balance. We don't have much, but we have enough to finish the year. And then the request for capital, we got grants to fix up the facility where Cosmo was for dental assisting, but the HVAC system is shot. We have to put an HVAC system in there for them. So, and then at the other 2, we've also requested some HVAC. I would say that HVAC across the world is the biggest issues in most places because they wear down. And so, we've been able to keep ours up and been able to find the grants and money to keep most of that going well. And we've gotten the grants and the money to do the renovations we needed to do and all that. So our capital requests are typically modest because we focus on finding the money to do what we need to do. And so
do you have a dental assistant program now, or is
No.
it gonna be a new program?
it's brand new.
And
So
when do you think that's gonna come online?
fall.
In the fall?
Yeah, we're working with ECU. So we'll be able to do our labs with ECU, with the dentist over there. And culinary will come on in the fall too. We'll start in the kitchen on campus. And when the other kitchen is done, it will move to there. So both of those programs and but the equipment, we have equipment. We can use state money for equipment, so we'll have equipment. Our state budget, is growing because of our growth. And so we knew last year was going to be the toughest year out of COVID. We used our HERS funds last year to offset our losses. And I was pretty clear with faculty and staff that this is the tough year. Every 2 weeks on a Zoom meeting, I reiterated that this is the tough year. So there's less travel, there was, you know, and we weren't able to pre-purchase some things and all that, but last year we made back our HERS money, not this year, but the last fiscal year, we made that back in enrollment growth. And we have stabilization funds. We used half of that for this year's budget, and we have made that money back. And then we have the other half, another $800,000+ going into this year that we can use for our new programs and all that. So we avoided the cliff that a lot of places had, you know, when you have the enrollment drop, and money drop, substantially like what happened with COVID. If you don't make it back, by the time the budgets catch up to you, you hit what we call a cliff. And that's why you see some colleges had let 20, 30 people go. We didn't. And so we were able to get through that. And, we saved a lot of money on our small business.
They said, did you fire Ted Wallace? No.
No, Ted is a moneymaker. Yeah, Ted is a moneymaker, and so we're doing a lot of EMS. The EMS, the paramedics, the nursing's been real popular, but we do a lot of EMS training. And Tony Cook is just great at that. And we do a lot of business and industry training. And so, but our growth is, you know, is brought us back up now to where the college is in pretty good shape financially going forward.
Any chance of the GB program return to the prison system, or is that?
We're back in,
Okay,
yeah, we're back in and,
when did you guys come back to that?
this past year.
Okay,
And then there's, we're working with the prisons right now. They want new programs. So we're working with them on that. They want some unique programs because, you know, prisons can put out a program and they'll send prisoners here that want to take those classes. You know, and so it's, you know, we looked at several. We actually talked, cosmetology and barbering, but they found out that those would be a real problem.
You don't want to do the locksmithing class.
And, you know, you can't do a lot with computers and, because you're not gonna have internet.
what kind of programs, I mean, those guys need to work when they get out of prison, what kind of?
Well, you know, right now, they really, we do a lot of HVAC in
Okay.
there. We do a lot of commercial cleaning in there. We do horticulture in there. We're looking at, automobile only, not really auto mechanic, more of a small engine repair. We do a lot of small engine repair classes outside college, outside there, but that's a great program. I need to take that someday so I can fix my own chainsaw and stuff instead of,
So you got the GED program in the prison and you're working on getting some.
yeah, and we do have like HVAC in there now. We've got commercial cleaning in there, got horticulture in there. And so they're doing a little bit better with guards. That's been the problem since COVID, is having enough guards to be able to offer a class, because they have to have guards available, to supervise in case something goes on. And so that makes our faculty in there feel a lot better. And we do a lot of small business classes in there, actually. Did you do
I
something
used to
there?
go in there and teach small
Yeah.
business, yeah.
And, we had a time getting Alan out.
We had some good buddies there, some old family members.
But, you know, so we do a lot of stuff, just like we do a lot of small business classes with some of our programs. You know, the great thing about cosmetology being right there is a lot of those students can get help with starting a business right there. And so, you know, things are moving and moving along and getting done. And we did over 1,400 kids last year at the Star Park, school kids. And so that was great. We're running about 27% occupancy year round in the hotel, 8 to 9 rooms per night, which is pretty good right now, given that it's still a work in progress. And so,
It's completely rented out for the bike tour that's coming through this fall.
it probably is. I mean, I would think so. You know, October is a busy month for us, as it is with everybody. It's late September, and a whole month of October, but we fill up a lot in the weekdays now with Sabelco and Courts sending work crews here. And so, and you know, they get, and we help a lot of other agencies that need help, just bringing someone in for a night. And someone like Whit Tuttle, we took care of the rooms for them, and because we wanted him here. We want the head of tourism here. He controls a lot of money. marketing money. So that's kind of a overview.
All right, well, I think his budget request this year is to get on par with, other counties. We should have a total of, $466,328 is the request for operational and capital, so